humanity extends its reach into the universe, we will most certainly need a multiplanetary currency. A fair currency that represents us all. That currency is Dogelon Mars. We are the Dogelon Warriors, a group of dedicated individuals who aim to assist and propel humanity into the next era. Join us on our mission to make Dogelon Mars the currency of the future, and welcome to the Dogelon space. Today, we have Crypto Brown, Charlene, and Glastier as co-hosts, and we have Swap Zone as our guest. Welcome, Swap Zone.
Thank you so much for having me on the space. My name is Pauline Shengit, and some of you might have heard of me from my work on ChangeNow. I am still the acting CBDO of ChangeNow, but currently I preside over all of the marketing efforts over at Swap Zone and is the exchange aggregator. And I am really, really excited to be joining this Twitter space because a lot of us are really excited about all of the meme tokens that are popping up. And a lot of us think that Dogelon Mars is kind of special, especially all of us over at Swap Zone, since Dogelon Mars is space themed and so are we. So this Twitter space that you're having me on is especially exciting, I think.
Thank you. We all believe here as well that Dogelon Mars is one of the special meme tokens out there. We actually refrain using the term meme. We prefer the term mission token. Why? Because we are on a mission to achieve longevity, which is more health for humanity, but also to become older with a better health as well. And then we have the other side where we're trying to reach Mars and colonize it, and put our 2 cents in there and, try and achieve, become the multiplanetary currency as well. So thank you for saying that. I also heard that you were part of ChangeNow. ChangeNow is pretty big as well. So just before we go into Swap Zone, I'm just wondering, why did you decide to work in both companies? If I may ask.
That's kind of a good question. First of all, thank you for pointing it out. I didn't by any means try to offend anyone. Mission token is a good term, and I'll be using that from now on. Since basically we do like what you guys have been doing, and the mission to colonize Mars is very noble, and we do support that 100%. As for ChangeNow and Swap Zone both, well, a friend of mine is running Swap Zone, and I'm kind of serving as an advisor and as someone who is helping out with marketing efforts. And since Swap Zone is a partner of ChangeNow, I figured that there wouldn't be any conflict of interest involved. So I do see a lot of potential in Swap Zone, and I think that it can grow a lot and it can be a lot of help with, to some people. So I don't see any trouble, working for both projects and enjoying contact with communities of both projects. And actually, it's been kind of interesting so far. You honestly get to see a lot of different perspectives on how you work on an aggregator and how you work on a sell exchange service. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Working in Swap Zone has certainly been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me for sure. Personally, I also like to do very diverse kind of things in my job. So yeah, that makes sense. So can you explain to the audience what swap zone is? The why, the how, and the what?
Yeah, for sure. So basically, I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the audience have come into contact with like instant exchange services, like for example, like Changely or Change Now, so on and so forth. Um, SwapZone's team has been looking at the instant exchange service market for quite a while, and there's always some sort of thing going on where people are looking at different services and trying to find the best rate, or um, there is a certain set of other conditions that people tend to look at, such as pair availability, service, service stability, asset selection, so on and so forth. So the Swap Zone team has decided to kind of put all of the services together. So when a person wants to exchange a certain pair of assets, they can just pick a service without having to look for, without having to browse the internet for a long time, having to look for the service that they will like, the service that they will be using for now, like from now on. So SwapZone basically aggregates 15 plus exchange services. They rank them based on exchange time, based on ratings, based on several other factors. So basically, when you want to swap ETH BTC, or when you want to swap Ethereum to SHIB or Ethereum to Dogelon Mars, you don't really have to go anywhere. All you have to do is just put in a pair and see all of the offers that are available and make your informed choice based on rates, based on the exchange time, based on several other things. I'm sorry, I have to go away from the space for literally 30 seconds because someone is knocking on the door.
Okay, that can happen, right? We all get packages in strange times. But it's also one of the reasons why I like SwapZone, because it makes a lot of things a lot easier, actually, right? Because mostly we're stuck on an exchange and we're just using an exchange. And going to a place like Uniswap is quite the ordeal if you're not used to using that inside the crypto space. While with SwapZone, makes it a lot easier. You can just use a credit card, just like on an exchange, and swap anything you want and send it everywhere you want as well. So I do think that is one key part about SwapZone that I personally like, that I would like to mention. And it is different than an exchange. You also have to deal with a different type of fee setup. So if you feel like using a swap, I would say a place like SwapZone is actually easier to use than a place like Uniswap, because with Uniswap you have extra steps to make before you actually get the token that you want. And in general, you also get a little bit more fees going on. So depending on the size of your investment, it can actually be way more expensive.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. If you're comparing SwapZone to a place like Uniswap, sometimes Ethereum fees can get quite a lot more expensive than just a regular ERC20 token transfer or just a regular ETH transfer. So basically, all you need to do in order to use SwapZone is just to have an Ethereum wallet and a wallet of the currency that you would like to swap into. And the whole process is generally like a lot more technically easier than using Uniswap. And I've seen a lot of people who have tried to purchase ERC20 tokens on Uniswap. They have run into quite a lot of issues with either them not having any idea about how Uniswap works, or them not having any idea about the fees or the risks involved on trading on Uniswap. And what SwapZone does, it basically gives clients, people who want to purchase any type of Ethereum, like an ERC20 token, a choice on how much they're paying, like how much of an exact crypto they're paying for their investment without any type of hidden fees. So basically what you see is what you get. And that's what I think is pretty much the winning point of SwapZone when compared to other swap services, like, for example, Uniswap. I guess because Uniswap in this case has the most, I think, let me find the word, the most drastic change in rate when you take the fees into account. And when it comes to other exchange services like Changelly or ChangeNow or SimpleSwap and other exchange services in the market at the moment, and the thing about them is that some of them have fees that are already included into the rate. So when you try to swap, for example, ETH to Dogelon, some of them charge more, some of them charge less. And what SwapZone does, it gives people a choice to see how much exactly they're getting for how much. And this type of transparency, this type of freedom of choice is what I think makes SwapZone the service for most people to use. I hope that was clear.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So what is the big difference though between a SwapZone and an exchange aggregator? And what exactly does that term mean, exchange aggregator?
Okay, first of all, let me explain a little bit on what exchange aggregator means in the first place, and then I'm going to kind of talk about what sets SwapZone aside from, I guess you could call them our direct competitors, other exchange aggregators in the market. Well, first of all, an exchange aggregator is a service that basically puts APIs from various exchange services all in one place. That's like a one-stop swap shop, as I like to call it. Basically, what it allows to do for people is to choose what rate they will be choosing when swapping one asset to another, because a lot of services support like a certain pair. For example, you say ETH to BTC. You have 15 services in the market that do allow for swapping ETH to BTC, but they all offer different rates. And what the main purpose of aggregators do is to give people a choice what service to go with, based on rates, based on exchange times, based on reviews, so on and so forth. So basically, we make people able not to, waste their time looking for a perfect exchange offer, since they're all in one place. We aggregate more than 15 exchange services in the market. The biggest of them are ChangeNow, Changelly, SimpleSwap, Fixed Floats, SideShift, and several others. And when a person wants to exchange one asset to another, we show several offers and we range them, again, as I mentioned, based on rates, based on reviews, based on exchange time, and a person can make an informed choice on swapping with one service to another, most of them have been able to save up to $1,000 on a swap. And we've gotten quite a lot of pretty good reviews on that. What sets Swap Zone, aside from other services like that, is the fact that we make more than 900 assets swappable, all in one interface, all in one place. So basically, it's like an infinite gallery of assets that you can swap between each other. And what I like the most about Swap Zone, aside from the simplicity, aside from the UI, aside from the, the clearness of the interface, something that we haven't seen on the market before, is quite simple. It's space themed. Swap Zone has been invented with the theme of space. It has a lot of like cosmic elements of the UI, and what I think puts it quite close to Dogelon Mars is basically Dogelon Mars wants to go to Mars, and so do we. And we've tried to kind of put a lot of elements into Swap Zone that make it clear.
Yeah, that's really amazing. I just heard you said you have 900 different tokens on there that people can swap. I think that's amazing. It's an amazing number. Just knowing that most exchanges and other places just have a little subset. And you guys have been really building on the road to become the #1 swap regarding that. And I love that. I also love the way that you approach the Dogelon Mars community as well. We have seen different articles coming about Dogelon Mars as well. And I believe I talked to you as well on the Telegram. The approach that you guys use is very easygoing. So I would like to give you props on that. And yeah, so I do see here that we have another question about why our aggregate is important, but I think you already answered that, why that is important, not just for the market, but especially for clients, for investors to use, just to make things a lot easier. So I would actually like to ask you about, how did you hear about Dogelon Mars?
Thank you for the question. It's a really good one. Basically, we, as a lot of exchange services and exchange aggregators in the market, we do tend to be kind of point agnostic. That means that we do have to keep a certain kind of neutrality towards different assets in the market, different communities on the market. But Dogelon Mars, Dogelon Mars has been quite special because the community is especially vibrant, and all of the team, we do love the theme that you guys have been putting on. I have read the comics, by the way, and they're amazing. So we've decided to keep in touch with you guys because we do believe that Dogelon Mars does have a purpose and does have quite a lot of potential. So that's why we've been, putting on a lot of attention to Dogelon Mars. And you've mentioned the articles. Thank you so much about that. Basically, putting out the articles have been our own way of trying to raise awareness for the project and to make it easier for people to understand it. We do have our own community going on. It's a small one, but we're trying our best to grow it as fast as we can. And we do appreciate, obviously we do appreciate you guys. And the articles that we've been putting out is one of the ways to show our appreciation and one of the ways to raise awareness about you, about your project, and make it known that Dogelon Mars exists Dogelon Mars is like a pretty solid token on the market, and getting it is pretty easy, and getting it is awfully easy when you are using Swap Zone.
For sure, on Swap Zone, it just takes 30 seconds and you have some Dogelon Mars in your wallet. So that's great. And I really love the articles that you guys have brought out so far, and also the different campaigns that we have had in the past that we pushed together. I think we should do that sometime in the future again. So what I also would like to ask you is, why does Swap Zone see Dogelon Mars as an important aspect, and also towards the crypto industry? And I'm asking because for a lot of people inside the crypto industry is that the meme token, right, or the mission token, is a little bit frowned upon, like it has no specific utility. That's what they say, right? So I do know that the devs are building on top of that to generate utility and to add in functionality there. So why do you, as Swap Zone, think it's important to have Dogelon Mars? And yeah.
Again, as I've mentioned, a lot of the exchange services, the market, Swap Zone included, do have to be coin agnostic. That means that any token that exists, mission token or not, meme token or not, is important and has equal value for us as a service and for the crypto community, for the crypto market as a whole. And I mean, trying to put aside different projects and trying to put aside different tokens is something that we have to be very careful about, because sometimes random meme tokens do explode. Sometimes random mission tokens do get on the market, but they don't have any specific purpose. They don't have any specific goal behind the community. They don't have any specific vision that they have. But since we have a team that is very peculiar about looking at the market, about picking out projects to interact with, we've seen a lot of potential in the Dogelon community. We've seen a lot of potential with Dogelon, like with the Dogelon token. We do think that the mission that you guys have is pretty awesome. Colonizing Mars is really good. This is something that we can certainly get behind. And I don't know, when talking about what specific token to interact with, for coin agnostic services like us, it does get a little difficult. So we usually just, what I'm trying to say here is that we usually get to be very peculiar about what projects we choose to put a lot of attention to. And since Dogelon Mars's mission and the Dogelon Mars community has been brought up along the team discussions, we've decided to build quite a solid relationship, and that has been working quite well for us so far. And we do like to think that it has been working out really good for you guys as well. And we've been really enjoying this friendship. We've been really enjoying the campaigns, and we do certainly think that we should do more of those in the future.
Thank you for sharing that. And I believe the same. Also begs the question, what can we do to help you guys on your mission, right? Because everything around Swap Zone is also about space and etc. So is that something you have in mind? How it can help you out as well?
Helping out is actually pretty easy for us. If you are using Swap Zone, if you have been using Swap Zone in the past, all you have to do is just tell a friend. Tell people about us on Twitter. Tell people about us in real life. Basically all we need to do is spread awareness so that we can go to Mars together. And I do understand that asking, like when a project, like when a crypto project is coming to token communities to ask for help, that is putting quite a lot of pressure on you guys. So we really don't ask for a lot. If you have liked Swap Zone in the past, or if you are liking Swap Zone currently, just let people know, spread awareness, and that is plenty. That is plenty, and we will sincerely and greatly appreciate every single one of you who does that.
Awesome. So that's swapzone.io, just in case you didn't know. You can also check it on Swapzone's Twitter page, of course. And I think that there are a few questions inside the audience regarding this. I'm not